Good morning, room 2. I am out for a rainy day walk today. Thought it might be fun. It's warm out, not too cold, and I love to hear the pitter-pat of the raindrops on my raincoat. I'm outside, come on, with a very reluctant puppy. Come on, Zoe. Zoe does not like the rain. Look at how sad she looks. Come on, Zoe. Going on a walk. Do you know what reluctant means? I'm pulling her along here. Reluctant means she does not want to go. Reluctant is when somebody's trying to get you to do something you really don't want to do. And Zoe really doesn't want to be out here in the rain. But I thought maybe if I took her down, oop, that's the train coming in. That was noisy. I thought if I took her down to one of her favorite spots, she might be willing to go. So far, oh, wait a minute, she's picking up the pace. I think she knows. So you know where we're going? Yeah, going down to the river. See you guys in a minute. One of our favorite spots to go. Oops, Zoe's pulling me over. And the minute she knew we were going down by the river, she perked up just a little bit. So I think a lot of people like to go to these spots when the sun is setting or it's a warm and beautiful day. But I think it's important to explore places even on the not so nice weather days, like today, for example. So I was just curious if we would see any birds, ducks or geese out here today. And I do see some birds, but those are seagulls. Just sitting there, floating in the water there. Let's see if I can get a better. Zoe, stay. Better. Can you see them? There they are. Let's head down to the beach and see if the rain is doing anything fun in the sand. Making fun sounds on my raincoat. Ooh, and it's making really fun. What you doing, Zoe? And Zoe's found something in the sand. Zoe likes to roll in the sand. I'm gonna have to hold on and make sure. Good idea, Zoe. Shake those raindrops off. Can you see the raindrops bouncing off of the river water? Let's see if I can get closer. They hit the water and then they sort of bounce up. Can you see that? It's pretty cool. Oh, who recognizes that leaf? Yes, if you said oak, you are correct. That must have been one of the last leaves to fall off the tree. Look at how bare that tree is. And you can see it's not a very clear view right now. Why do you think that is? Look up there in the sky. What do you see? Who is our weather person today? You can all be the weather people. Weather person, what do you say? What is our weather like today? You're right. A little bit of rain, a little bit of fog, and lots of clouds. This is kind of cool. The water's coming down from those rocks up there. And look, we've made a little river coming down into the sand. And then if I come over here, look at the little puddles that are being made in the sand. Another one over here. How do you think these were formed? These holes in the sand. I wonder. There's quite a few of them. You see a stick? One more of those holes right up at the edge of the river there. So on a clear day down here, you can see straight across to the Palisades. That's the other side of the river there. Oh, and by the way, sorry, this is the Hudson River, the mighty, mighty Hudson River. which is just spectacular and one of my favorite places to be. And does anybody know the name of the bridge that crosses over the Hudson River? And usually on a nice day you can see clear to the bridge. That's the Tappan Zee down there. Look really carefully. Can you see the shadow of the bridge way out there? It's so foggy. You have to really look carefully. So the Hudson River actually is a river that flows both north and south, which is very unusual. And it's also a river whose water is brackish, which means it's got a little bit of salt in there. Not as much salt as the ocean, but enough salt that it has some very interesting creatures that live in it. The Hudson River on a very, very rainy day, friends. Not a great day for reading a story outside. So I'm gonna head back in and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Animals shake themselves to shake the extra wet off of their fur. Zoe. And when Zoe gets wet, she gets very curly. Say good morning to my friends. She knows we're headed back home, so there's a little more pep in her step. She's not so reluctant anymore. And here we go. Oops, through the puddles. Oh, Zoe, maybe it's time for a little puddle stomping. What do you think? All right, friends, I found some puddles. I'm ready to do some stomping. I left my puddle stompers at school. That's okay. These shoes are kind of waterproof. I hope you guys get to go out and puddle stomp today too. Woo! Hi everybody, I'm back. Back in my comfy chair after that rainy walk. I hung up my raincoat, took off my wet shoes, my wet socks, had a little breakfast and a cup of coffee, and I am ready to go. We're going to have our story time. Are you ready? So today I'm sharing my comfy chair with my little cat, Tibby. She's not very happy that I'm in the chair. She thinks that it's her chair, but it's not. Right, Tib? And my other fatty cat right over here, which you cannot see. Well, here's his tail. He didn't like that. That's Gilbert, a little grumpy. Okay, so here we go. Today's story is How to Feed Your Parents. This book comes highly recommended by our friend Gabby, and I hope you enjoy it as much as she's been enjoying it. It's written by Ryan Miller and illustrated by Matam Ali. How to Feed Your Parents. Here we go. Matilda Macaroni wanted to try quiche. Her parents did not. The list of things Mr. and Mrs. Macaroni would eat was very short. Chicken, only in nugget form, with barbecue sauce. Elbow macaroni, only mixed with orange-colored powder from a packet. Burgers, only from a bag with ketchup, fries, and a toy. Grilled cheese, only on white bread, cut into triangles. Pizza, only topped with pepperoni and delivered to their door. Cereal, only if it was sugary and turned the milk a different color. They refused to try anything else. You ever get picky about what you eat? Matilda first discovered she liked other foods when Grandma Macaroni brought over a pot of jambalaya for a surprise treat one evening. Yuck, Matilda's dad said when he saw the pot. No way, Matilda's mom said when she smelled the steam. They pushed their plates to the center of the table and sulked. But Matilda was curious. Any of you ever tried jambalaya? I actually made some for dinner the other night. It's quite good. Oh, look at their reaction. How do you feel when mom or dad or grandma put something new on your table? You try it? The jambalaya was interesting. It was surprising. It was delicious. After that, Matilda tried new foods whenever she could. She got gumbo and goulash at Grandma's, sampled some sushi at a sleepover, and polished off a plate of pork paprikash on a play date. But she soon realized that if she ever wanted to eat more than nuggets and noodles at home, she would have to commandeer the kitchen and cook for herself. Commandeer the kitchen. That means she needs to take over the kitchen. She started by learning how to crack eggs. First, she didn't tap them hard enough to break the shell. Then, she tapped them too hard. Finally, she got it just right. She worked with her grandma to learn oven safety and knife safety and all the other safeties she could think of. She started reading cookbooks as bedtime stories. She gave her allowance to her babysitter to buy ingredients from the local farmer's market. Matilda practiced with a willing grown-up whenever she could. Soon she had perfected paella, mastered miso soup, and conquered croquettes. She wanted to share every dish with her parents. She knew they would enjoy them if they would only try them. So she came up with a plan. She is cooking with her grandma and her babysitter. Who do you cook with in the kitchen? I'll handle dinner tonight, she said one morning at breakfast. No quiche, her mom said. Nothing funny, her dad added. Burgers, Matilda said. Just burgers. Her parents were both running late, so they slurped the bright purple milk from the bottom of their bowls, and they agreed. That night, Matilda's parents stared skeptically at the food in front of them. This doesn't look like what I like, her dad whined. It's a hamburger, Matilda said innocently. I'm going to warm up some leftovers, said her mom. The fridge is empty, her dad yelped. No pizza, no nuggets. This is what's for dinner, Matilda said. If you're hungry, you can eat. If you're not, don't. But I made this, and this is what we're having. You made this? Mrs. Macaroni asked. She lifted the bun and peered at the patty. There are mushrooms on it, and green things. That's arugula, Matilda said. You're going to love it. Mrs. Macaroni raised one eyebrow, but then her stomach growled loudly. Our daughter made this, she said to her husband. She took the teeniest bite. Interesting, she said, chewing slowly. It's surprising. It's delicious. Mr. Macaroni smiled politely at Matilda and took a teeny tiny bite of his own. Hey, this isn't bad, he said. Actually, it's good. I can make it again, Matilda said as her parents chowed down. But I was thinking that maybe I could try to bake a quiche first. I don't think you should do any more cooking, her dad replied. I think we should do it together. We can take turns picking recipes, her mom said. We might not like everything, but we promise to try everything, her dad finished. The next night, Matilda and her parents sprinkled some flour on the counter. They rolled out dough before filling it with eggs, spinach, bacon, Swiss cheese, and more. The quiche was a hit, as was just about everything they made fantastic fajitas, her dad said after he bit into a warm handmade tortilla stuffed with steak, colorful peppers, and onions. Excellent eggplant parmesan, her mom said, while going back for a second slice of the purple vegetable with oregano spice sauce and mozzarella cheese. Phenomenal pho, they both said as they leaned over their bowls and slurped up rice noodles floating in ginger-scented beef broth. Mrs. Tran makes phenomenal pho. She's made it for me and it's quite good. You know, Matilda's mom said, talking around a mouthful of garlic naan and chicken tikka masala, I think I might like to try some jambalaya. They called up Grandma and asked her to bring over her signature dish. Amazing, Grandma exclaimed when she saw that Mr. and Mrs. Macaroni started eating with no complaints. Matilda, you've done a great job getting them to try new foods. Thank you, Matilda said. Now, if I could only get them to clean their room. And here, on the very last page of the book, is the Macaroni family's recipe quiche recipe. How many of you have ever had a quiche, or have had jambalaya, or fajitas, or sushi, or what else did they have in here? Eggplant parmesan. Well, if you haven't, you might want to try starting something new and tasting some new foods. So this Thanksgiving, when all of that yummy food is put out on the table, don't be a silly eater, all right? Be an adventurous eater. Take a little no thank you bite. You may be surprised. It may be delicious. All right, guys, I had a great time with you this morning. Put on your puddle stompers and go outside. Even though it's raining, well, I think it might have stopped a little bit out here. It's still fun to be outside. Play in the mud, enjoy yourselves. I miss you a lot, and I can't wait to see you back in the classroom soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.